For too long, women have not been heard or believed.
You told the world that time's up on violence.
1 out of every 5 women will be sexually assaulted and raped before she reaches the age of 18.
It's 2018 and I've realized that nobody is safe long as she is alive. And every friend that I know has a story like mine.
You think that just because I'm a woman, I'm incapable of making my own choices?
It doesn't matter what you think.
Don't I as a woman deserve to even have an opinion? Don't you?
You have no idea what it is to be a woman.
So I asked myself, what can I say about being a woman?
Hi, my name is Demini Oega and this is Her. Women have a big impact on our lives, especially as we're growing up. They're our mothers, our aunts, our cousins, our partners, our grandmothers, and so on. Women have the power to create nations. They help shape the world, our societies, and our communities. Women are amazing. They are innovators, trailblazers, creators, and dreamers. In this series, Her, I'll interview a dozen inspiring and impactful women from different backgrounds. Are you ready to meet her? Let's go. Who is Adetola Adedipe?
Who am I? Wow. Well, that's a big question. So my name is Adetola. I am a Nigerian-born, South African-raised artist. So I studied kinesiology at the University of Calgary. It was really fun. I was really into sports, but what really helped me through that time was being able to do my art. So spoken word, poetry, and yeah, so that really just helped me find my community within Calgary, immigrating from South Africa to come here with my family. And yeah, so I love poetry, I love art, I love sports, I love being a part of the Black artist, just like powerful women in Calgary, just being like a part of that community. So that is who I am.
What are some defining moments in your life? What are some defining moments in a girl's life, do you think?
I would say in my life, the most defining moments were performing poetry for the very first time, immigrating to Canada, and then graduating from university. But what I would say, like, especially in a girl's life, especially in a Black girl's life, being able to, those defining moments are when you find something that really brings you intrinsic joy. So like joy from within, like you find something that really just, no matter what anyone is saying, it's something that every time you do it, you feel drive, you feel passion, you feel motivation. When you see other women doing it, you feel inspired. So I think a defining moment is when you find that thing. And the most important thing is that it doesn't have to be just one thing. So being like multifaceted, being multi-talented, and like just discovering all these things that you're interested in and pursuing that, I would think that is the most defining moment in a girl's life.
How have women around you influenced your life?
I would say the women that influenced me the most, like the ones that I really respect and are inspired by, are the ones who really, despite what other people were saying, they chose their own path. Like they didn't let society stop them, but at the same time they didn't hold back about how those kinds of things made them feel. So they were like honest with their feelings and kept moving forward. So I think the most inspiring thing that I've really learned from women around me, the thing that I've learned the most has been resilience, especially because I feel society expects women to be a certain way, a certain type, a certain body type, to do certain things. Even if they don't say it out loud, like we as women, like we feel it, like we see it, like we know what it is. And so the women in my life that have really influenced me have shown resilience, have shown pushback against all the things that women are supposed to be, and they were like, no, I'm going to be me. And so I would say that.
Definitely. How do you think the world's view of women has evolved, negatively or positively?
The world is a very interesting place. So I would say it's gone almost in kind of like, if you think about a graph, kind of like how the graph kind of plateaus and then it goes up and then it plateaus. So I would say like, obviously women, you know, with the women's movement, feminism, Black feminism, all these things, like women are more vocal about the things that they want. Women have gained more rights. However, there's still systems that are in place that kind of like try to dampen the voice of women, like things like paid maternity leave, things like just like women's what to do with their bodies, healthcare. So I would say like the view of women is like, oh, women can take care of themselves, but also it's like women aren't good enough to do certain things, like leadership positions, political positions, healthcare, certain things. And so I think there's still this underlying notion that women are driven by their emotions, and that is a weakness. And so I would say that in the negative way, people still think that women can't put their feelings aside for certain things. And instead of seeing that as a strength, people see it as a weakness. I would say that's still like a negative part of things, especially because people still try to control women's minds, control women's bodies, all those things. And then on the positive side, I would say that the view of women has changed because we're having those conversations about what it is to be a woman, the certain struggles of POC women, of Black women, of Indigenous women, like seeing like how women aren't one thing, like we're so multi-faceted, like we're so different in so many different ways. And so our struggles in so different ways, and the fact that we have the freedom to still talk about these issues, because these issues are not gone, I think that's going in a positive direction, especially because more women are like stepping up and speaking out and saying, you know what, no, we don't like this, we want to change this. So seeing like more women in leadership positions, seeing more women in arts and science and medicine and all those things, so it's really encouraging to see more.
What do you believe can be done to address gender stereotypes?
I would say the same way that if we talk about, the same way that the idea of like the oppressed and the oppressor, how the oppressor needs to also be addressing the situation for those things to change. So the thing that we need to do with gender stereotypes is a lot of it is, it's enforced by, misogyny. So I would say like the men in our lives, in the world, in society, they need to like actively have those conversations, like actively try to change those things. So I would say like for women, obviously we can break gender stereotypes. We can like decide not to be what the typical kind of societal role for women is. Like we can rise above that. We can choose not to do that. We can do all these things, but until like the system changes, and the system, which is predominantly, male, misogyny kind of led, like that area needs to change in order for society to change. Like it can happen like little bits at a time, like in different little areas, but until like society as a whole, like I said, like more like leadership positions politically as well, until the face of the people making kind of these decisions about women changes to, the face of women making these decisions, I would say like that would be one of the most important steps of changing the gender stereotypes. But at the lower level, it would be literally, like I said before, like choosing, like you as a woman choosing to not be put into a box. Like no one can tell you what to do. No one's going to tell you how to live your life, what to do with your body, what you can do, what you cannot do in terms of like wage gaps. You get to like ask your, your company, your boss, whoever, be like, listen, I have noticed this wage discrepancy. I demand and you deserve to be paid equally. Those kinds of things. So those are things that we can really push forward for, just like general gender stereotypes, because I feel like a lot of the stereotypes that are put upon women are for a ridiculous example is just like cooking. If you think about it, why should a woman be the one to cook or clean or take care of a household if before she was in a relationship, they were in a relationship, how was that other person surviving? Did they not cook, clean for themselves? It makes no sense. So why should that suddenly change when, say, someone gets married or someone is in a relationship? Those kinds of things, those kinds of conversations, those kinds of relationships, they need to decide, their own gender roles. Like literally just assign gender roles for your own relationship. Don't judge other people. Don't go based on what other people are judging you for. Just, it's between you and whatever relationship you're in to really just change, whether it's a business relationship, friendship, romantic relationship. It's up to you to define the gender roles really that you want to fulfill and the ones that you don't. Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, definitely. Why do you think it's important to celebrate International Women's Day?
I love International Women's Day. I think it's important because women are such a, I even want to use the word important, but the word important doesn't even seem important enough. Women are the backbone of society, I want to say, and I am going to say. And women just, when we think about like women's struggles that we're constantly going through, a lot of the time women are honestly gaslighted whenever we bring up certain issues, certain things that we want, that we deserve, that we want to change. And so just like having a day that really just hones in and focuses on these conversations, I think that's important. Also just, having a little bit more love for all the powerful and amazing and beautiful women in the world, really.
What does the 2022 International Women's Day theme, #BreakTheBias, mean to you?
I think for me, it really just means not just breaking the bias, but breaking, obviously, breaking the barriers, breaking the boundaries that even women have set for ourselves. Really just like pushing yourself like forward into spaces that you want to be in. Show that you deserve to be there, and really just like get out of your comfort zone and really grab hold of the things that you want with both hands and be unapologetic about it. So that's what it means to me.
How can we include more racialized women in leadership roles?
I would say there isn't a lack of, women of color that have the capabilities to be leaders, and it's just a matter of effort. I think if you are trying to fulfill a role and you recognize maybe in your society, in this community, it could use more, it could reflect more of the community around them, then look for those leaders. Literally look for them on social media, look for them on LinkedIn, and literally find them, because they're there. They are there. They're educated. They're in school. There isn't a lack of qualified women, POC women to be leaders. So I think it's a matter of just looking for them and making sure that we, as women of color, give opportunities to other women of color as well. So, yeah.
What do you think allies can do to help achieve gender equity?
I would say allies. I think the word ally has been thrown around so much, and like the definition for ally has also been shifted a lot. The expectations and the behaviors of allies has also been shifted a lot, also over the couple of years. How to be an ally and how not to be harmful at the same time to the community that you're trying to support. I would say like the main thing that allies can do is, number one, listen to the community that you're trying to support to. Like, give them the space that they need to talk, to act, and then as well, just support them, you know, whether it's over social media or like financially. It's like if you have a choice between just like supporting, you know, the certain community and not, like you can make the active choice to like support a woman, support a Black woman, support an Indigenous woman. You can make that choice. And so just those small things like supporting businesses, supporting initiatives, those kinds of things, like showing up for the things that you say you support. I think that's the very important thing, like putting actions to your words. I think that's the main thing as well.
What advice do you have for the next generation of amazing women? What do you have to say to her?
What I have to say is nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you. They will try to stop you. They cannot stop you. I don't want to say don't let them stop you. They literally cannot stop you from succeeding, because not just in a way, because obviously there are systems in place that try to really stifle women, but like as you're growing up, you know, as a young girl, there will be so many times where people will try to judge you, try to put you down, try to put you in a box, try to limit you. And the steps that you take to just uplift yourself is so important. So tell yourself that you are intelligent, tell yourself that you can do it, tell yourself that, you know, I want to go after this prize, I want to be the leader of this club, whatever you want to do, try it, and don't let yourself not try because you think that someone else is going to judge you for it, or you think you won't be good enough. Literally, just do it. I think my motto growing up was literally just do it. Just do it. I don't like, you don't come for me. Within my life, trying so many things, still failing at so many things, but the fact that I tried so many things, discovered so much about myself, that really just helped shape who I am. And when I look back on when I was younger and the things that I didn't try or I hesitated to try out of fear, I wish I could tell myself like back then that you won't know if you're going to be good at it, if you're going to enjoy it, because you also don't have to be good at something to enjoy it. You know, you do what makes you happy first, put yourself first, and that is that. Put yourself first, and no one can stop you.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for having me, for asking me. Just like seeing like another, just a creative young Black girl like on the other side of Canada, because I'm in, you know, Alberta. It was really motivating to me to literally just see all the things that you've done. Like, you inspire me.
Thank you so much. You inspire me more. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, I love women. Women are the best. The best. Like, hands down. Like, there's no argument.
Definitely.
It's facts.